Do we have a? Let me ask you this. I've seen you dabble in the Twitterverse around this. Do we have an NIL problem in Memphis?
Do we have a problem? I would say, as a whole, the university as a whole, yes.
On the whole, it's a little Austin Powers humor.
In the whole, like, as a whole, yes. I think if you look at it from the grand scheme of, I think the number came out. What was it? 821,000, something like
Well,
that.
that was just from the 901 fund, right?
Sure. But take a look at that 901 fund. I'd like to know how that's divvied out, right?
Yeah.
Is
What's the
it
breakdown between
is
sports?
that is that 800,000 for basketball and then 21,000 for football? Because I would say that's a problem, right? Overall.
Well, I'll say this: Ryan hadn't been too shy about saying we don't have the funds that, at least conference wise, what we're like middle of the pack, I think,
Yeah.
on the football side of things. So I would say a majority of that, yeah. I don't know if it's only 21 going to football, but a majority of it, I'm sure, is basketball related.
Yeah, that was definitely more arbitrary numbers, but I do think it's a situation where basketball is carrying the load. And it's probably been that way since NIL kind of came about as more of like a prominent thing. Um, Ryan tells these kids straight up, like, if you're coming here for NIL, like, this is the wrong school. It's just not. That's not really a thing here. And I actually tweeted that, talking about how Memphis does have an NIL problem, and there may have been a player that liked it. So it's a former player now, but
On the football side,
who's to say?
I take that as a yes. Interesting.
I mean, it's not like a situation.
Is
So when
it?
I
Let
say
me
it's a
ask you this then, from a broader, is NIL ruining college athletics
no, probably not.
to an extent? The kids
No.
deserve to get paid,
Yeah,
but I
that's
don't
what
think
that's
everybody saw it playing out this way.
well, hear me out. Like, the top guys were more than likely already getting paid. It was just under the table,
Yeah.
and pretty much the only people that knew about it were the players. I would say the staffs, either the landing staff or the opposing staff. They got wind of it, right?
The bagmen.
Um, the bagmen, the handler type of guys, they all knew about it. So all we're doing is putting this out in front of everyone, right? And just making it clear. So I'm all for kids getting money, dude. If you
Same.
can
It's
make money off of being in a commercial or whatever the hell they're doing to make money, then, like, all for it, dude. I would. I mean, I can't fight that at all.
no. I'm all for them getting paid too. It's just I don't know.
So you,
I don't know where we're at. I don't think it's ruining the game. I think they deserve to be paid, but it's kind of a madhouse right now, right? Like it's just wide open free agency across the board. Like,
I do think there should be a cap on it, right?
yeah,
It does seem like, and some schools are doing this. Some schools actually have a big enough collective where they can just say every kid gets $5,000, something
well,
like
right.
that.
That's what
Again,
like
arbitrary
in
numbers.
SMU doing something like that, where every athlete gets like I don't
Correct.
remember what it was, but it was like 32,000 or something.
Yeah, whatever it was. It was SMU is who I was referencing. They're
Yeah,
one of the schools. I think Miami was another, where every kid on the team is getting a lump sum. If you're obviously the star quarterback, you're the star running
right.
back,
You're
whatever,
gonna want
you're gonna
more
get
than
you're gonna get other deals outside of that as well. But
yeah
everyone should get that one standard deal type of thing. I just don't know how many schools have that.
the
Right? Are you
ability
gonna
to
commit
pull
to
something like that
Memphis?
off. Yeah,
Yeah, are you gonna commit to Memphis for $3,000? Let's say they break it all up. Again, I'm making up numbers, but are you gonna commit to Memphis for $3,000? Or are you gonna take a shot to go be third or fourth string at SMU, where you're gonna make out, three times that, four times that? So I think
yeah.
that could change things.
Well, we'll see. It's going to be interesting to see how it changes over the next like 18 months,
Sure.
2 years. I mean, even
Yeah.
I think it was John Martin read an article about it that the people paying and footing those bills, I think, are starting to get a little not
What's
just
the
in
ROI?
Memphis, but just yeah. Well, that and I think they're just, I don't know, they're getting a little, not just in Memphis, but just yeah. Well, that and I think they're just, I don't know, they're getting a little, not just in Memphis, but just yeah. Well, that and I think they're just, I don't know, they're getting a little, not just in Memphis, but just yeah. Well, that and I think they're just there's no, you're not signing a 4-year contract for a kid, right? That's going to be here and stay here. It's literally a one and done for everybody, pretty much. Everybody's signing a 1-year deal, and they'll just pack their bags and go the next year. You're just constantly rebuilding roster year after year, and it's not just here; it's at every school, in every sport, basketball, football. It's a revolving door,
though, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's that way in coaching, right? So I think if you are, we'll say Ryan, if you're Ryan Silverfield or you're Penny Hardaway, and you have a good year this year, and someone else comes next year and says, "Hey, we'll triple your salary. You want to come here?" Are they not supposed to leave because they're under contract? I mean, they get to leave at any time, right? So why can't kids leave? Why do they not get that type of freedom?
No, I get it. It's a double-edged sword for sure.
I'll tell you what, on the topic of the NIL fund, I don't know if you remember. I can't remember the guy's name, honestly. It was a basketball player for Miami. I'm pretty sure it was basketball. He's committed to Miami. He gets this money, and then all of a sudden he's
and then he was like,
transfer. Yeah, he hits the transfer portal. Transfer portal. Yeah. Something like that. Does he get his money in that situation? Because I feel like if you're Miami, you can't. If you're John Ruiz or whatever that guy's name was, you can't take it back because it's not indicative of him playing for Miami to get that money. So there's some loopholes and some interesting things that I think they got to get figured out.
Yeah,
definitely needs to be.
Like I said, it'll be interesting to see what happens over the course of the next season or two.